listeners, okay? I don't write my stuff anymore. I just take it from my head, you know what I'm saying? I can do that. No disrespect, but that's how I am.
Sponsored by Sprite. It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports, and the NBA season is about to begin. Tonight's broadcast will feature the Miami Heat as they go up against the San Antonio Spurs at AT&T Center. Well, for San Antonio, it's always an exciting time of the year as fans and other players and coaches around the league all getting a first look at how they might be shaping up for the upcoming season. A decade and a half of dominance for the San Antonio Spurs. Shaq, if they're not the gold standard, then who is?
I have to disagree with you, Ernie. They are the platinum standard. The front office award speaks for themselves. All the 51 seasons they have speaks volumes.
With the game just about ready to begin, let's send it out to Kevin Harlan.
It's home to the Alamo and the Spurs, San Antonio, Texas, as we bring you an interconference rivalry here at the AT&T Center. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports for myself, Kevin Harlan, and my broadcast partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Welcome, everyone. The Spurs start out with the ball. So here's Miami's starting group. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Nick Roberts at the 4 with Bosch at center. And it's Dang in at the 3 spot.
Super defensive play. I mean, if that pass gets through, it's probably 2 points.
And he knew that. He knew if it gets through, it's a score. So that's why he sold out for it and got a hand on it.
Now here's Parker. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Well, you talk about the elite point guards in the NBA. A lot of times Tony Parker's name gets overlooked. You know, something about playing in San Antonio seems to keep you off the radar, but make no mistake, Parker is a true star and, most importantly, a proven winner.
And Parker Clark, a 6-time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, heavily decorated player.
Yeah, he really is, and he's shooting to become the Spurs' first 20-year guy. Now, how crazy would that be? I mean, he came to the Spurs at 19, so he's got an outside chance at it.
Sure he does.
He says his body feels great, and the way Pop manages minutes for his guys, he thinks he can play at a high level for a long time. That'll be fun to watch to see if it happens.
Good story, you're right.
Yeah.
The Spurs continue, guys, to be one of the top-tier teams in the league, both offensively and defensively.
Well, great discipline and efficiency, the continuity of the roster, the stability, and, of course, you know, what Pop calls corporate knowledge, just the unity of this roster that has grown over the years.
Wade against Green. Back to Duncan. Parker against Chalmers. Parker drives in, and the wide open shot from Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
And for the Spurs, hey, defensively with Duncan and Splitter inside, they've got the size to protect. Stopper is terrific and can guard any position on the wing. They use their length to contest shots late and avoid cheap fouls. And the other thing you like about them is they didn't give up a lot of free throws last season.
They set the pick. Outside, Green. Pass to Parker. Back to Green. Pass to Parker. 6 on the shot clock. They kick it out to Green. Cans the shot from the wing. Green's got his second basket of the night.
Well, the Spurs were just terrific offensively. Best three-point shooting team in the NBA 3 of the last 4 seasons. And, I think probably the best passing team as well. They really move the ball and get great movement in their offense.
Duncan outside. Pass to Parker. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. And the wide open shot from Green. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
Their offense has really come together immediately, threatening to run away with this game.
It's hard to imagine they'll be able to stay as hot as they've been so far, but if they can, watch out.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. That'll be a 5-second call.
You know, one thing you have to give Coach Erik Spoelstra credit for is he's not wedded to just one approach. I like his ability to be flexible. You remember after the 2011 finals, for example, he really went back to the drawing board and changed Miami's offense to their small ball approach, but also wanted to get LeBron inside more. The result has been a couple of championship rings.
Now here's Parker. Green with a screen on Chalmers. Parker dishes to Splitter. Back to Parker. Nice ball movement by San Antonio.
Boy, what a fantastic opening quarter for them.
Yeah, it sure has been. Look at the lead they've jumped out to already. Impressive.
They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it inbounds that time.
That's 2 turnovers in the last 3 minutes. Those are starting to add up, guys.
You talk about Coach Spoelstra staying open to new ideas. He spent time in the summer studying football coaches and their techniques.
Yeah, kind of an interdisciplinary interest in greatness. And, you know, that's what goes into building a champion. Spoelstra, very intense and focused, always trying to find an edge, even if he has to kind of step outside the box a little bit.
Now, here's Chalmers. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. And it's the Spurs ball. A nice run going 12 in a row. Parker kicks to Splitter. Dishes it to Parker. It's stolen by Dang. And a little over 2.5 minutes gone here in the first. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
That's really a good picture of 2 possessions. I mean, they're being way too casual with the ball.
Yeah, it's going to cost them if they keep it up. They need to get back to playing efficient basketball.
San Antonio leading by 12. And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
A short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. One player he said they can't overlook is Chris Bosh. He said Bosh is the perfect complementary scorer. He can hit the spot up Jay and also really crash the offensive boards. We simply can't get so caught up elsewhere that we allow him to have a big night. And Kevin, at 6'11", Bosh really an anchor in that front court. When he plays well, they're tough to beat.
All right, Doris. Timeout called, the Heat. Well, Kawhi Leonard drafted 15th overall back in 2011. The pick acquired from the Indiana Pacers in a trade for George Hill.
And, you know, at the time, Manu Ginobili said that he really didn't agree with the trade, made him angry. He had a real strong relationship with George Hill, liked his game. I'm sure a lot of Spurs fans felt the same way, but even as Hill remains a heck of a player, the Spurs fans have to be happy. As a matter of fact, they are ecstatic with what Kawhi Leonard has been able to do and what he looks like he's going to do for many years to come.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
Even if the entire team had 4 turnovers, it wouldn't be a good situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, it seems like every time this guy touches the ball, something goes wrong.
Outside, Green. Duncan left side. The 3 ball. Bosh grabs the miss.
And Leonard has been a great fit with the Spurs culture. Quiet, low maintenance, hardworking, not one for all the glitz and the glamour. He owns one watch, they say. Just focused on basketball, not the lifestyle that it affords.
And here are the Spurs. Right now in a 14-0 run. Parker outside, feeds it to Green. Back to Parker. 6 to shoot. From 11 feet away. That's short off the rim.
And you talk about Leonard's work ethic. Instilled in him from his late father, lost tragically when Kawhi was only 16 years old. But his father used to put him to work in his car wash, made him run hills, and really embedded in him the value of hard work. And his dad's influence and legacy lives on in Kawhi.
Boris Diaz checked in for San Antonio. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. Parker drives in.
And another gap in the defense found right there. This is one of the worst defensive performances I have ever seen.
That'll be a 5-second call.
You know, we saw some coach turnover heading into the season, but nothing like a year ago when there were 13 changes of NBA coaches. I think that was a record, or if not, it was really close to one. Even winning coaches were getting let go. A lot of new NBA owners are coming in, and in some ways, it is a changing of the guard, quite honestly.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
No, he's forcing the issue out there, guys. No question. He's really struggling trying to take care of the ball.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for the Spurs. Anderson, he's checked in for Miami. Granger comes in for Josh McRoberts. .153 left in the first quarter of the game. Dial with it, and Granger picks him up defensively. Ginobili the pass to Duncan. Stolen by Anderson. Dang with it. Looking for his first basket still in this one. And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
Well, that's his 4th turnover, and he's going to find himself on the bench if this keeps up.
Spurs leading by 18. Not a big surprise, but the Heat, Steve, were the best team in the East last year when it came to playing teams in the Western Conference.
Yeah, that's not a shock at all because they have the most talent from the East, and I think only facing those clubs twice each, Miami was much more likely to be up for those games from an emotional standpoint.
Now here's Wade. Diaw missing his last shot. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time. San Antonio's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game.
You know, back to your point about the Heat in the West, they were the only East team to get 20 wins against the Western Conference.
Now, defensively, they have to pick up the intensity and close out on shooters.
Steve, you're right. I mean, they're getting picked apart out there, and the intensity on D's got to pick up as well. I mean, you can't have it on cruise control on defense.
Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Miami. And so it's San Antonio with it. Ginobili gets a wide open look. And again, it's San Antonio with a 3.
And for a team in the East, that's often the real test of how good you are. Of course, that wasn't really a question for the Heat, as they were always regarded as the team to beat last year in the NBA.
Well, they've got far too many turnovers this half. That's the reason that they're losing the basketball game.
Absolutely.
And guys, sometimes it's just trying to do too much. I think they're trying to be aggressive, but they're forcing the issue a little bit.
56 seconds left in the first quarter. Duncan with the screen for Ginobili. Duncan, a screen. Wade brings the double team. Duncan dishes to Bellinelli. Here's Ginobili. The second chance effort, and the layup is up and in. Diaw's got his first 2 points of the night.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second. There's and it's going to be San Antonio off the tip. We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And for Miami, looking who they've got out there. Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Nick Roberts at the 4 with Bosh at center. And it's Dang in at the 3 slot.
Tony could well be the best point guard penetrator in the game. I mean, he's great at finding the seam and getting the ball up and off glass before the shot blocker can recover. And once the ball hits the glass and comes off, it's a no-touch zone for the defender.
Now here's Wade. Good, and it's Bosh picking up the assist.
And a lot of times his first quarter seems to dictate how big of a role he plays later on, and he's off to the good start.
And stolen by Chalmers. Here's Wade.
Oh, how about that basketball, man?
Beautiful.
Wow. Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question. Kept great awareness and a terrific finish.
And that's an intentional foul.
I have no idea why he was fouling there.
And even the foul, I mean, you can't be wrapping guys up like that. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. That's a meaningless play.
And stolen by Chalmers.
That's a couple of very shaky possessions in a row. One turnover right on top of the other.
Yeah, I think they just need to slow it down for a minute. Catch their breath before they give the ball away again.
Now Parker. Here's Splitter, and he uses the glass on the layup.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Bosh inside. Splitter's there. Shot's good by Bosh.
Red hot right out of the gates. 4 for 4 shooting.
Here's Parker. Pass to Leonard. Splitter kicks to Parker. Takes the 12-footer and hits.
Well, nice way there to get your first basket of the game.
For Miami, they've gone 4-4 to start. So a nice offensive rhythm to start here. Dang. Bosch, that's for 2. And the Heat get another bucket right there.
It's going to be tough for the defense today. If he's got his A game rolling here tonight, we'll see.
There were a lot of great things Steve accomplished last year by the Heat, both on offense and defense, but at times people would overlook that defense.
Well, they played tremendous defense. I mean, maybe not as consistently as they have in the past, but, you know, to be as good as they were, you have to be great defensively, and I think sometimes that goes underappreciated.
Here's Chalmers following the score by Tony Parker. And the basket by Chalmers. Chalmers has got his first bucket of the night. Spurs have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game.
You know, the numbers don't really jump out at you, pop at you, regarding the Heat's defense last year. But, you know, sometimes it's not necessarily what you do, but when you do it. And the Heat were pretty good at getting big stops when they needed to.
Now here's Parker. He's got 6. 5 on the clock, and Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. 14 foul. And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played, and that one's good. Parker.
Well, a lot of the Heat's numbers might be skewed because they played a lot of high-scoring games at a high tempo, but when you have the athletic talent that they have, you better believe they're tough defensively. Their offense already flowing. Some stellar shooting while jumping out to this lead.
Well, high-quality shots, and they've been on target with them.
He dishes it to Leonard. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Leonard's got his first points of the game.
As soon as the double team came, he immediately looked to find the open man.
Here's Bosch, and there's another one for the Heat.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
Parker passes to Duncan. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Intelligent passing there to make that hoop possible.
The Heat leading by 4. Here's McRoberts. Tony Parker grabs the miss.
I don't mind that shot, though. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He's just showing a lot of confidence there.
I'm right with you there, Steve. I mean, let it flow when you're feeling it.
Now that is a quick bucket. Pretty good in transition.
That's right. That's exactly right. He loves when he gets the chance to get out and run. That's when he's at his best.
Miami with the ball after the basket by San Antonio. Now here's Chalmers. Shot clock at 5, and it's good. And that's 11 points for Wade.
A perfect 4 for 4 for him to start this game out.
Boy, he looks fresh and confident out there right now. Well, Mario Chalmers, coming into last season, made a bet with Ray Allen about how much each could slim down and get in peak shape. It seemed to pay dividends for Chalmers in particular, who had probably the best season of his NBA career.
And Chalmers really not the quickest point guard in the league, but he has active hands defensively and pretty good feet. And those takeaways help get the Heat out in the open court, which certainly plays to their strengths.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Morris Diaz checked in for Splitter. Bellinelli comes in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green. Now here's Ginobili. D right on him. And there's the call on Udonis Haslem. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. And Chalmers, more of a role player for the Heat. Not a huge playmaker, Steve, but he can knock down open threes.
Yeah, he's an efficient scorer, and his passing has gotten better over the last couple of seasons. He's a perfect role player for Miami because he can guard opposing point guards extremely well and then slide off the ball when Wade has it.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Cole dishes to Anderson. Here's Napier. He's covered by Ginobili. Puts it up from 17, and it's Miami with another.
You know, he was smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Agreed. As long as he picks his spots, his outside shot will be hard to block, no matter who's on it. Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
On the wing, Granger. And it's Miami with another.
Boy, has there been
He could hit the target.
And the Heat making a change here. Josh McRoberts has checked in for Haslem. Bang comes in for Danny Granger. Wade, he's checked in.
Hey, dividends.
Yeah, it sure has, Clark. I mean, with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, they really...
Here comes Manu Ginobili. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Feeds it to Duncan. Lots of room. And it's San Antonio with another.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
There's the buzzer, and not much. And now the second quarter just getting set to start. You guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Heat?
Boy, the three-point shot has really been dropping for him early on.
I think they're also getting some good looks in transition, doing a nice job of running the floor.
On the floor for Miami, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. Dang and McRoberts holding down the forward spots. And it's Anderson in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Mills after the made shot from Dwayne Wade. That's it, and the Miami lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Diop.
Textbook right there. Nice pass, great catch, beautiful finish.
Dang with the bucket.
So nice to have a guy like that who can take charge at any time.
Yeah, so many of his passes, Steve, have led directly to baskets.
Well, if you remember early in Erik Spoelstra's head coaching career, when he was new and the big three were assembled, there were some people questioning Spoelstra's command, maybe even within the team. Those questions are long gone now. He has become an excellent head coach.
Here's Wade after the basket by San Antonio. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Spurs will take it.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
Kawhi Leonard's checked in for the Spurs. Parker comes in for Patty Mills. And a new group in for the Heat. Chris Bosh is checked in for Josh McRoberts. Granger comes in for Luol Deng. Napier, he's checked in for Dwayne Wade. And Cole subbed in for Mario Chalmers. And Coach Spoelstra, known for his work ethic and attention to detail. He's a grinder.
No question about it, Kevin. Got his start as a video coordinator back when everything ran on VHS, so you know he had to do an awful lot of work. And he's worked his way up slowly, but surely he's grown as assistant under some terrific mentors, and now he's really, I think, one of the best head coaches in the game without question.
He's visited college football training facilities, NFL camps. He really tries to broaden his perspective.
He sure does, and you can see evidence of that in how he handles himself.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Well, Kevin, Spurs coach Greg Popovich is so highly respected by his peers. Thunder coach Scott Brooks said there are 3 things you can count on: death, taxes, and Pop winning 50 games. Dallas coach Rick Carlisle called him, quote, the best coach in any sport ever and the smartest man in the history of the world. Kevin, he wasn't joking.
High praise indeed. Thank you, Doris. Daniel Green, he's checked in for the Spurs. And Miami also making a switch. Haslam's checked in. And the Spurs pushing it up now. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. It's going to be on Udonis Haslem.
Tony Parker, I don't think there's any question the best player ever to come out of France. In fact, back in the summer of 2013, he led France to the Euro Cup championship in Slovenia. Just a terrific performance there for Parker.
France has really produced some quality NBA players. You think about Boris Diaw, Nick Batum. Batum actually carried France in that title game against Lithuania.
And for Boris Diaw and Parker, they grew up together. They've won a gold medal together in the U18 European Championships.
And for 13 years, they've tried to get that second gold medal. But I'll tell you, the quality of play around the world, Kevin, just continues to get tougher and tougher. And France, definitely in that upper echelon.
Here's Leonard. Heat knocking down the tray, and Granger comes over to help. Splitter with the ball, and Bosch picks him up defensively. And Cole kicks to Napier. Cashes in for a double-digit lead. And it's an 11-point Heat lead.
Wow, they are just red hot, guys, not missing a thing.
Sometimes you see a player get on a tear like this, Steve, but never an entire team.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. And an intentional foul right there.
That's his second personal foul. Third team foul.
There's the steal.
Great reflexes to get a hand on that pass and go the other way with it.
And the jam by Udonis Haslem.
Well, this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just a tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
How about that, breaking out the Statue of Liberty on that dunk?
A nice way to pad that lead a little more.
Yeah, you got that right.
Parker kicks to Green.
Well, head coach Greg Popovich, a big believer in what he calls corporate knowledge, the idea that continuity breeds success through players truly understanding the system at a deep level.
Now here's Parker. He's got 10.
That's the risky run by staying out there as he picks up his third.
And as much as Popovich, Clark values that continuity, team's principles, really never stands still. He adapts to his personnel and adjusts his strategies.
And that's a credit to any really good leader. And I've heard it said that leadership is everything when you're talking organizations, team sports. That's a great point. I mean, the Spurs have won going big, they've won going small, they've won as a defensive-focused team, they've won as an offensive-focused team. I mean, they haven't changed their core principles, but to Popovich's credit, he has adjusted styles based on his personnel and where they are in their career cycle.
And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And the foul goes against Miami. He's gone 5 of 8 free throws shooting in the game.
Not sure what's affecting him, but his touch at the stripe just has been off in the first half.
Well, it's not something you expect to see from him, but he's got time in this game to find that stroke.
Yeah, those were fine numbers he posted at the line. It was hard to find fault with anything he did from the stripe.
And he gets the bucket.
You know, passing the ball well on the perimeter has really opened things up offensively for this club.
Steve, it makes the game easy. I mean, 10 straight points off assists. That's impressive, but it's easy when you move the ball.
And there's the call on Udonis Haslem. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for 2.
Well, Tim Duncan, when asked about his retirement plans right after the 2013 finals, refused to dignify the question with the response. But last season's Spurs run answered loudly enough.
And Miami making a change here. Wade's checked in. It's stolen by Green. Kicks it to Leonard. There's the dish to Parker. That's good, and the Heat lead is cut down now to just 12 points with the basket from Leonard.
Well done, finishing that one off.
And for Duncan and the Spurs, year after year, people write him off, and Steve, they keep proving him wrong.
It's incredible. I mean, I think I wrote them off 4 years ago, and here they are continuing to just be an elite team in the NBA, and Duncan, one of the big reasons for it. He seems to get better and better, and he loves the game. He continues to stay in great shape and compete. Who knows how long he'll go.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, Kevin, the Spurs, not necessarily a glamour franchise, but maybe the NBA's model franchise. The longest streak of 50-win seasons in league history, 5 championships, and a litany of former Spurs working as head coaches and GMs around the league. Tim Duncan said people aren't envious of their image, but they're envious of how they run things. They get it done, Kevin.
They sure do. Goal on Udonis Haslem. That will get him his 4th foul of the game, and due to the bonus, we'll head to the line for 2.
Danny Green, a nice find by the Spurs as a 3-and-D role player. And the Spurs always seem to find those kind of guys. A mid-second round pick was Green. He got waived by the Cavs, spent some time playing abroad. Now he holds the record for three-pointers made in the final.
Bellinelli, he's checked in for San Antonio. Mills comes in for Parker.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far to say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk. Huh?
I can feel that.
Send a message.
Yes, sir. A message, and put it on the highlight reel for later. While they're winning the speed game, guys, getting out in transition.
Boy, I like the energy they play with offensively, and in the open court, tremendous flow.
And for Danny Green, guys, a quality defender at either wing position. And, you know, Steve, as you like to say, a floor spacer offensively.
That's right. Two-way guys, Kevin. Two-way players. That's what the playoffs are all about. You think about the success Green has had in the last couple of seasons, defending star players at one end, knocking down big threes at the other. Wow, what a player he's become.
Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green.
Marco Bellinelli with a career season playing for the Spurs in 2013-14. His best ever three-point percentage. In fact, he led the league in that category for the first half of the season.
Now he's starting to pick up from what he accomplished in the first quarter, where he made 3 of his three-point attempts.
We've got 22 seconds left to play here in the half. No luck. And the basket by Wade. Wade's got 18 points. in the game.
Well, offensively, he's taken a solid opening quarter and just built on it here in the second.
Here's Mills, defended by Chalmers. Shot left block. Bellinelli gets the bucket.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Just 4 seconds left in the first half. Dang. Good. And it's Chalmers with the assist that time. And it's 6 points for Luol Deng.
He had his head on a swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. Heat lead by 18.
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the start of the second half. Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. Dwayne Wade really has his fingerprints all over this one.
You know, he spoils us with his performances game in and game out, and so far, just another big scoring night for him.
Typically, when he puts up that many points in the first half, he's going to follow it up with a better second half. We'll see if that happens here.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen.
Nice numbers from D. Wade. 18 points, and he's added to his numbers by hitting 4 shots from the three-point line.
Well, 12 points from long range, so the defense has to figure out a way to defend him a little differently, try to get into his airspace.
Down low, it's Duncan and Switter. Green teams with Leonard on the wings, and it's Parker in at the point. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs.
You know, the Spurs, because of their way of conducting business and their low-key personality, have never really been ratings darlings for the NBA, despite being considered and respected as a model franchise in the league. The team's color of silver and black, I think, fits their style. It's not really flashy or gaudy, but it does point out their business-like approach and how precise they play and how much they win.
Unable to get the ball in bounds, they get called for the 5-second violation. And for those of you turning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Spurs passing it around. The drive by Green. The shot is off.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game. And you look at the Spurs' lack of branding, if you will. It starts from the top down, from Coach Popovich to Tim Duncan. They don't court media attention. They're close to the vest, all business, all about winning.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Kevin, Greg Popovich was just going over the plan with his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Leonard. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. He then went on to tell them he wants to use their fast break offense to its full effect, saying, we can run these guys into the ground. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Great. Thanks for the report, Doris. 90 seconds now into the second half. And Mario Chalmers gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. And the Spurs look for a certain kind of player, Clark. I know you're interested in this. The players they get are uninterested in the spotlight. Pop calls them guys that have gotten over themselves.
That's a great way to phrase it, because they're others-focused and not self-focused. And that's something that really lends itself well in a culture which glamorizes the I and not the group. And you can see it in the Spurs. They are all about business, and all of the extra stuff is not what appeals to them. They're interested in winning and having fun and enjoying each other, and that's why they're a championship organization and team.
That's a good blueprint.
Yes, it is.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Winning on the road often means having to win close games, and the Heat were deadly in that regard. It won't be an easy thing to do this year without LeBron, but Dwayne Wade isn't too bad to have late in the game either.
And Parker drops them both.
The Heat with 22 road wins last year. That was tied for the best mark in the East. As you said, a lot of close wins.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Well, when you have as many shot creators that the Heat have, Clark, it's easy to pull games out late.
Yeah, you like to have that firepower. Obviously, that makes it easier to get quality shots late in the clock or late in the game.
Passes it to Bosh. The shot's good on the assist by Wade. Wade's got assist number 5 here tonight.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve.
And Chris Bosh with the slam.
I think that play sort of sums up what we've seen throughout. Just simply being outplayed both sides of the ball. Smart basketball defensively turning into... a quick point.
And that's not going to be able to continue if they hope to get back into this game, Clark. It's a deflating play for your morale.
And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
You know, even from here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
Yep, pretty obvious. And a good call by the officials.
The Heat shooting their initial free throws of the game right here. First one falls for him. He hits one and misses one, each at the line. Clark, you think of how much success the Spurs have had, and it's almost as if they can plug anyone in, and they are immediately on the same page and working as a unit.
Well, they make it look easy, but there's a lot of work that goes into that. They evaluate the players they bring in, wanting to fit them into a culture that already exists, and the continuity and consistency you get from the top down. Greg Popovich, Tim Duncan, and you got those guys in place. Then you throw in Manu Ginobili and Tony Parker. Now you've got a group that you can win with for a long time, and they've done just that.
Josh McRoberts, a pretty unique player, 6'10" power forward who's an outstanding passer and quality shooter from range. But he's not without weaknesses. He could be a better rebounder and maybe a better defender for a player with his size and athleticism.
And McRoberts' rebounding rate has declined every season in the NBA, and that's 6 straight seasons. A rate last season that's unacceptable for a guy of his size. I mean, he's got to find a way to make a bigger impact on the glass.
Danny Granger is checked in for the Heat. Norris Cole comes in for Mario Chalmers. Napier, who's checked in for Miami.
Heat substitution, Shabazz Napier.
Outside Bosh. Deflects the pass and is out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. And McRoberts, a starter in his time in Charlotte. His shooting provided spacing for locker room presence Big Al Jefferson to operate inside. Signed by the Miami Heat this offseason, Clark, just before LeBron's decision.
And Kevin, his game certainly would have been a compliment to LeBron's, but any team can use a big man who can pass and shoot. And with his athleticism, he still has some upside.
Yeah, agreed. Parker kicks to Leonard. Here's Ginobili. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Ginobili's got his second basket of the game.
Boy, nice work inside. Tough to get that shot over a big defender like that.
No, that takes skill and creativity, Steve.